High altitude backpacking in a California heatwave, mosquitoes and freezing cold lakes. 18 months in the making. I had all the gear, but no idea. A Scot on the rocks. Let's dive in. Hello, Hendo here, and welcome to my Muir trail hike. In this video I'm going northbound the first 57 miles in 5 days from Horseshoe Meadow to Kearsarge Pass signpost, climbing Mt Whitney and Forester Pass, the highest on the JMT and PCT. My permit was from Cottonwood Pass northbound to Happy Isles in Yosemite Valley. To get there, I flew to LA, took a Metrolink train to Lancaster from Union Station, beautiful architecture, then a Yachts bus with other hikers to Lone Pine, arrived about 5 p.m. Mt Whitney towering above the bus stop. Lone Pine Kurt was waiting to shuttle us up the winding road to the trailhead, over 10,000 feet. Settled in the night before my permit started to acclimatise to altitude. The air was thin, campers were well spread out, so I didn't really meet anyone, just a couple of PCTers dropping in for resupply. So day one on the GMT, leaving Cottonwood Pass trailhead in the direction of Rock Creek. I set off with no one around on a flat, dusty, sandy granite path with 10 days of food in my bear canister. Took it slow in a high altitude, a heat wave and the switchbacks up to Cottonwood Pass here. After lunch in the shade, I traversed rocky terrain passing gnarly golden trees under a deep blue sky, stunning views of the Sierra Nevada mountains. I didn't film my rookie mistake of taking the path to the Rock Creek Ranger Station, where I thought the bear box and camping would be. I settled for a pitch nearby, my first trail lesson, learned to read the FarOut App properly. I had no appetite in this heat and altitude, and my first day was done. Day two from Rock Creek to Crabtree Meadow took in Guyot Pass, and I watched this pack train while I was having my lunch of a chicken mayo wrap. Day 3, the big one, Mt Whitney, an early start. It was cold overnight, and with a hot Milo coffee shake, a Cliff Bar in hand, I had just under 4,000 feet to ascend. Out and back. Felt good just to have a day pack on though, with water and snacks. Cool in the shade. I took my time, passing Timberland Lake here, and on my way to Guitar Lake. Reaching the top of Mt Whitney was such a highlight, and the actual starting point of the GMT for me, coming from the south. It took me 5 hours from Crabtree Meadow. I was nervous of altitude sickness, but took it slow and just felt a little lightheaded. The views were breathtaking. I shared a 30-year-old single cask Scotch whisky at the top with a fellow hiker. This is looking across to Mount Hitchcock and down to Guitar Lake below, where I'd come from. Such a long way back to camp, but such a relief to make this part. Day 4, leaving Crabtree Meadow and Mt Whitney behind. There's a series of climbs and ascents and descents, but no mountain pass. I took a dip at Tyndall Creek before heading 850 feet up to a high camp at 11,800 feet. No one else around, only marmots and chipmunks for company. I had to wait for the sun to drop and witness a most incredible starry sky so high up in the mountains. Day 5, the final ascent up over Forester Pass. It reminded me of the mountains in Scotland with bowl-shaped what we call corries with small lakes. The switchbacks waved up through what seemed like impenetrable wall. Cool in the morning shade, it was much easier to tackle. The deck Meadows was buggy, so I hiked up 1,200 feet to Kearsarge Pass signpost, flat area just before Charlotte Lake's sign. I could see it through the trees. Shattered, but 57 miles had been done. My routine now was hike till you drop and camp high. I had no appetite in the heat and altitude, but was on schedule. Could I make my food resupply rendezvous in 6 days' time? The challenge was on. Thanks for watching, and until next time, Slanjava.